Welcome back. Colorado State legislative session starts in just a couple of weeks. Fixing our roads always tops the to-do list, right? Other issues we'll want to watch next session: education funding, health care costs, a red flag bill, which would allow for the temporary removal of firearms when someone poses a danger. And lawmakers will also look at how to handle oil and gas development as it grows closer to communities. Now, Denver Public Schools is on the verge of a major change. On Monday, the district will choose a new superintendent. And joining us right now is Susana Cordova, the current Deputy Superintendent for Denver Public Schools. She also happens to be the sole finalist for the top job, and come Monday will likely be named new DPS superintendent. So welcome, glad you were here.
Thank you.
And I suspect that probably the first item on your list is really dealing with teachers and the possibility of a teacher strike.
Sure.
Yes?
Yeah, you know, I have a long history in Denver, and one of the things I think I bring to the table as the potential next superintendent is really strong, good relationships with our teachers. I know how hard our teachers work, and I know how important it is for us to be able to pay our teachers well.
And there's a couple of issues in there. So are you looking at doing something long-term immediately? Do you want to just get this over and done with?
Sure. So, you know, certainly the work that we're doing in our negotiations with our teacher right now is top of the list in terms of things that are on the plate. Making sure that we can have a proposal that we all feel good about, that helps put more money into our teachers' base salaries, that has incentives to work in schools where we know we have high needs, that we have the opportunity to keep teachers in our highest poverty schools, really important. And, you know, I feel really positive about our ability to come to an agreement with our teachers.
So you like the idea of incentive pay for our teachers?
The citizens of Denver have actually approved funding for incentive pay
so
for
that
our
will
teachers.
happen.
And so we, you know, the whole question is, how do we do that in a way that makes sense for everyone?
And what about the pay for performance, though, path that DPS has been on? Yeah,
and so that's really, when we talk about incentive pay, it is part of our pro-comp system that the voters have approved, that has both ways to incentivize and have performance-based pay for, you know, getting evaluations, for working in higher poverty schools. You know, teachers who teach in hard to fill positions like math teachers or special education teachers. That's all part of what pro-comp looks like.
Because some of the criticisms aimed at DPS have to do with very few qualified teachers, or not enough qualified teachers, especially in the lower performing schools, right?
Sure.
Will this address, is that the idea?
Yeah, you know, and part of the proposal that we've been working on tries to acknowledge a both-and solution. We know that all of our teachers, Denver has become a very expensive city to live in. We know that all of our teachers need to have more money in their base salaries. So that's part of, you know, what we're working on. And we also know, because of our pro-comp system that the voters have approved, that we want to make sure that we continue to reward performance and that we incentivize people to work in those positions that are hard to fill.
I know you've also acknowledged that institutional racism exists in DPS in a lot of our schools. How do you address that? Are you addressing that? Because I think that that is an important issue for so many families right now. Yeah,
you know, we have heard very loud and clear throughout the process to select a new superintendent the urgency that our community feels around ensuring that all children, and particularly Black and Latino children in Denver, are supported and able to do well. You know, our country has a really difficult history when it comes to serving all students well, and the Denver Public Schools is no exception to that. I have talked quite frequently about the need to have more supports, both for our students and for the teachers who work with them, around how to be culturally competent, how to work with kids who come from a different background, how to understand we all have bias, how to understand that, and how to learn ways to overcome that so our students can be successful.
Yeah, I know that's a huge need in our all of our communities, I should say. I know DPS has spent, what, $160,000 searching for a superintendent. You have been with DPS all of these years. You're the sole person. Was that money well spent, and why you?
Yeah. So I think our board had a real commitment to creating spaces for lots of people to get involved. You know, I've worked in Denver for almost 30 years now, and I don't ever remember as many opportunities for people to participate in a superintendent selection, ever. And so in terms of the board's commitment to working well with the community, I think it's evident that they put a real priority on doing that, and all of the feedback sessions. You know, I listened to that community feedback, just I think like any other applicants listened to that feedback. I feel like I bring a lot of qualities to the table that will serve our district well. I'm from Denver. I have been a parent of DPS students. I've been a teacher. I've been a principal. I've been a leader in our central office. I know a lot about what we've done well, and I know a lot about what we haven't done well. And frankly, I think my life experiences are very reflective of the needs of many of our families in the city, and I feel like I can bring that experience to bear to be the next superintendent.
Okay, well, Monday is the vote. Susana Cordova, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. And listen, if you have a question or a segment idea, tweet us at Denver 7 Politics. And don't forget, you can always watch today's segments anytime at thedenverchannel.com/Politics Unplugged. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics Unplugged.